Okay, guys, well, it's great to be here in California and talking to Yes Theory. You have so many fans in Australia that we thought we've got to come and have a chat with you and find out all about it. So how did you originally come up with this concept of Yes Theory? Where did it all begin?
So it started with the idea of wanting to do 30 things we've never done before in 30 days. And at the time we didn't know each other. So it just came from kind of a frustration after graduating university and just feeling like there was like a set path and a set direction and wanting to disrupt that and do something kind of out of the ordinary. And we all very quickly bonded over that idea of doing something different, and then kind of just all jumped into it and got started.
So you all went to the same uni, or you just happened to know one another, or?
Matt and I went to the same university, and then I bumped into Amar. He was uninvited at a party. And we started talking, and we shared stories, and it kind of bonded instantly. And then we were sleeping on another friend's couch, and he knew Darren.
Wow.
So Darren came in like a couple days into the project. And yeah.
The whole uninvited thing has kind of become a bit your script, hasn't it? You know, it's so cool. It's just the coolest thing ever. So yeah. And so you've been friends for a while. You know, when you collaborate, you come up with your ideas. Is it sitting around having pizza, or do you kind of go the whole corporate, sit down at the board table, or you just chill dudes, you know, usually working out what you're going to do?
Yeah, I mean, usually with brainstorming, we have different ways of doing it, but usually how it works is one of us would be out doing something different, and then a spark of an idea comes. You come back here, discuss it with the rest of the team, and then a completely new idea gets born out of that. So it's just usually someone gets the spark for something, and then when we discuss it, something even better comes out of it. So
well, what about if the others don't like the idea? Like Matt comes along with an idea, and you're like, no, that's crap, we don't like it, or do you just all bond and go, yeah, that's cool?
I used to do that all the time with their ideas. And then Amar and Thomas were just telling me all the time to sort of take it easy and be open to more ideas and see the potential in them.
Take a number.
Exactly. Expand on it. So more and more now we're just open to ideas, to whatever it is, as ridiculous as it sounds.
Yeah.
And then we build on it.
Yeah.
Bit by bit.
So how much planning goes into it? Because I've looked through so many of them and they look quite spontaneous, but no doubt you would have to do a lot of planning before rolling up at a billionaire's home and jumping into their pool, as you do. So how much work?
So it depends. Like for the billionaire ones, we kind of just roll up, and Matt hates that. Like we went to try to crash a Hollywood pool party, and I just said, "Let's hop in the car and just go." And he was like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard."
Yeah.
But
I think it varies. Yeah. Like sometimes, like for the movie, we snuck into a few movie premieres, so we have to prepare. We have to see like what time it's happening, where it's happening. And then sometimes it's like that where I'm just like, okay, all right, we'll just go out and figure this out. And what's crazy is, so oftentimes it works that it almost seems fake.
Yeah.
Because it just comes together so well that you're like, how the hell did that happen? So we try to really emphasize that, like show the process and show exactly how we do things, and show when we fail as well.
Yeah.
That's really important to us.
So who's the coolest? Who just does not get phased? I mean, if I knew I had to go to someone's house, ask them permission, let alone get in my bathers and jump in their pool. I mean, like, is your heart beating at like 6,000 knots? Or obviously Thomas is just like, whatever.
I'm okay sneaking into places, totally cool doing that. When it comes to convincing strangers to do the things, I would say these guys are much better.
Okay.
Because why
is that? Why are they better?
I'm too polite. I feel rude. But if I'm sneaking in, I almost convince myself that I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah, Thomas is the master of sneaking into places, and then Amar and I just ask people random.
And you're like,
stuff.
If they say no, what the hell?
Exactly. It's just being okay with rejections and just realizing that like people sometimes just make such a big deal out of getting a no. Because at the end of the day, you're talking to another human being and the worst thing that can happen is for just them to tell you, no, you can't come into my pool or sleep in my backyard or come into my party. And when you really understand that and like fully accept it, you just become a lot more comfortable speaking to strangers.
Yeah.
Just asking for things. Yeah.
And surely when you get a no, you're getting closer to a yes at some point, you know, even though it's frustrating. And so when they actually agree and say yes, after all the build-up, you're like, holy crap, we're in, like, let's do it kind of thing. Then you've got to go into...
It never gets old. Yeah, it never gets old. Just hearing that yes, you can't even believe it sometimes. You're just like, how the hell did we pull this off?
My second question is always, really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, okay, we're there.
Yeah.
Now, your latest one was just totally fascinating that you've actually uploaded, I think, today, and it is totally going off. Tell us the background of that. Like, are you allowed to just, I think our laws are different in Australia. You just go in and say, we're going to check out this place that nobody knows about, or... Yeah.
If you want to talk about
Yeah, well, so this is an abandoned mansion, and we had a friend who had a tip on the location. And with abandoned places, it's always a blurry area. Like, if there's signs, we don't go in. If
Right.
it says, you
Yeah.
know, no trespassing or no going in, etc. But here, the doors were just open, and we're always very respectful of the place. So we never take anything, we never graffiti. We're in and out in an hour, and we try not to disturb the neighbors.
Yeah.
So we're always very, very mindful of making sure we respect the place and respect the environment. And then we try to keep the location as secret as possible so more people don't go and
Yep.
and maybe cause trouble. So
I noticed you said that it was like somewhere in Southern California or
Yeah.
something, that you were very, stum about where it was.
Yeah.
And how crazy was that place with all the hidden, cavities and whatever? Do you, you kind of concoct a story in your own head about who lived there and what happened, or you don't really care?
no, and that's the best part about abandoned places, especially like because you walk around and you have to create your own story, and the only thing you have is your own guesses, and you try to put together the clues in the house, and you put together the story on your own.
Yeah. And so you obviously don't mind giving it a go, and I know you became a bit of a model. Congratulations on the green suit. It's very charming. Was the pressure on then? You had to lose a few kilos before you could
lose 5 pounds is hard. And it was. I think it's like a lot of things that we do where, from an outsider's perspective, like being a model doesn't seem that intimidating.
Yep.
Then once you sort of live that life, even for a few days, and you get to know people, and like the events coming up, and you're gonna walk or you're gonna do it, whatever it is, it builds up in your head. Like whether it's like a date, for example, was the most recent thing that I was like extremely nervous about going on, and I think that's sort of what we've learned is like once you're in it and once it's your life and you're doing it, it's a lot more intense. So it's allowed us to not judge people's lives as much because you realize how much pressure there is in whatever situation they're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
no, it makes sense.
Okay.
And you must all be you must be all really good buds as well, because you work together, you live together. Do you ever get to that point and you're like, oh my God, if I see that ugly mug again, or you just like wake up in the morning singing and what will we do today kind of thing?
Yeah, it's kind of the latter.
Amal's speechless.
No, I'm just because we get asked that a lot, and I think our relationship is pretty special in that way, where we just don't. We're so communicative, and we've learned to do that since day one we started. We were in such a tight space that was our only way to keep this going, and that was like really what stuck with us throughout the journey so far. Is just like being open with each other, as communicative as it gets, and just if someone is mad at someone else, just like instantly tell them, talk about it, because we can't keep going with our days if the energy is off.
Yeah.
So, and then we've learned to sort of manage it, because we also need our personal space. Let's say like I'm down for a day, then I know that I gotta sort of put myself in a room, go through it, or if I don't want to talk about it yet, go through it in my own head, and then come out either over it or talk about it with someone. So yeah, it's just like it takes an incredible amount of just communication and allowing yourself to be vulnerable with the people that you're living with.
And we host interventions. So if 3 of us agree that a person keeps doing something that is annoying or disruptive to the team, then we have like an intervention, and that person has to agree to let that go.
Oh, okay.
And you are not allowed to disagree. You're allowed to question and like understand it, but not disagree. So
I always think the word intervention, it sounds so heavy, doesn't it? Like, going
it's scary when you walk in and it's like, oh
What have I
crap.
done?
Yeah.
And you have had phenomenal success. Do you take that for granted, or do you kind of wake up and look at all, the Social Blade stats and whatever and go, wow, that's us? Or where are you at with that?
We're just always looking to like creating the most value that we could possibly create with the content. Like when this forms into maybe on the on the YouTube level, or just like putting content out, like we've been successful with that so far, and we're extremely grateful, and we want to continue doing that. but the end goal is for this to just become a movement that is recognized and that is like subscribed to by people from all around the world.
Wow.
And for us to create this network of young people who are defying the status quo, like just working their asses off to leave a good mark in the world, and that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, when it gets to that point, this is when we'll be more satisfied, because right now it's just on the content level. Yeah, we're doing well and we're constantly building on that, but to get to the movement level, that's a lot of work and probably years of just different projects that we put together to build that ecosystem around it.
So do you get stopped in the street? You know, are you celebrities? That's what I interview a lot of celebrities. I want to know, are you celebrities yet?
Recently, it's been happening a lot more often. It's strange. Like when someone just comes up and is like wants a photo with me, who is just like, I'm in my shorts just walking down the streets. It's like I still have a hard time accepting that or dealing with that. But it's the best part is when that people are recognizing what we do for Yes Theory, not for like, you know, we're not vloggers or celebrities where like people are just like obsessed with you as a person.
Yeah, sure.
It's more the obsession or the admiration, I would say.
Yeah.
Is for Yes Theory, and that's the best part. It's
do you find that as well, Thomas?
Yeah, it's very much like they'll often mention different episodes or ideas that they want to try or that they've tried because of us. So it's exciting, it's cool, and like it's people that watch us are like in their 20s. It's not like kids. Like a lot of kids watch YouTube, and they'll run up, like when we hang out with our other YouTuber friends, we'll see like 12-year-olds go up, and for us it's often like people our age that are like, love the videos, and it's an awesome feeling to be able to meet your audience as well.
Yeah,
I think it's also kind of, well, we're friends with a few people who used to follow us back in the day, and one of them, we were hanging out with her the other day, and she stopped me and she was like, you know what's so funny is when I first met you guys, I was so starstruck or whatever, I was so nervous, and the more I get to know you guys, it's like, these guys are so average. So average.
in a good way.
In a great way, which is like, yeah, that's the whole point, is like anybody can do this. And we managed to pull it off, so that's kind of what we tell everybody, is like, you can do it as well.
Yeah. Because on another level, it's quite inspirational that you're getting people to be risk takers and go out and do their own thing, you know, for young people, which a lot of people, probably younger people, struggle with as well. Definitely. You know, when you're in 20s and you're finding your feet and who you are and all that sort of thing as well.
Definitely.
So, yeah. So, sorry, to end the interview, I just want to find out what's coming up next. You know, I know you can't give any details away. You know, do you sit down and write your 5-year plan, or do you only have like a next month plan? Or
there is all of that. There's like the next week plan, there's the next month, there's the next year, and then there's the next 5. So we sort of have different plans for different timelines.
So you're goal setters?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's and Matt, like, we give the credit for Matt for keeping us accountable for that and just constantly just pushing us to meet those, to hit those goals. So I would say like biggest things happening. We're traveling soon. We're going to the Middle East. We're going to Egypt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we'll be in Egypt for about 10 or 12 days. We're going to film a bit of content there, and for these guys to meet my family for the first time.
Oh, wonderful.
We have our Snapchat show coming up out in a few months, potentially September, which is like a new format where Yes Theory will be putting out content in. So
so it's our own tile on the Discover platform. It's
not
just like
gee, that's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be Yes Theory, and it's a show where we now helping other people sort of face their fears and seek discomfort. So it's not about us; it's more about the people and how do we deconstruct and break down those fears and help them get past them. For now, these are the biggest 2 things. We are also within a week or 2 we'll be putting out the full story of how Yes Theory came to being, which is a story that we've never told. We've never told anyone how we met. We've never told YouTube how we met. We've never told YouTube how we make money. Because it doesn't make sense that there is 5 people on this channel. 4 of us on camera, and Matt's younger brother, also Thomas, who's our editor. And with 300,000 subscribers, that's not sustainable for 4 people to be living in Venice and doing all of that. So people often wonder, like, how do we make money? And like a lot of other questions that people have that we'll be addressing in a 5-part series that would tell the full story. Yeah. So that's what I'm most excited about.
So the last question I have to ask is the biggest one of all. when are you coming to Australia?
Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Hello.
Well,
like,
my
we
future
want to
wife
know.
my future wife is Australian, so it's a. It's
Oh,
a
really?
must.
That is
Yeah.
a big
Oh,
crush on her.
congratulations.
I love Australia.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't have someone in mind, he just knows, knows that she's Australian.
It's gonna be
She will be Australian.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Oh, you got to come down. With great country, you know, plenty of freedom.
absolutely.
Yeah, great beaches. the
Whereabouts
whole
in
of-
Australia are you guys based?
We're like South Australia,
Okay.
down the bottom, which most people get a very blank look when you tell them because it's not Sydney or Melbourne. So it goes Sydney, Melbourne, and then Adelaide's like down the south.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll let
Yeah.
you know if we go.
Look us up. Yeah, we'll host you. We'll look after you.
Thank you.
We'd love you to come. Well, look, thank you so much for your time today,
Absolutely.
guys. We appreciate it. We know you've got to go on another shoot now. You're all wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Very
So
down
you-
to earth. So, you know, the best of success to all of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Good
it.
luck with everything.
Thank you.